Earth dwellers, welcome back to the Quick 50. It's what happens when trivia meets a caffeine overdose. Put that cantaloupe into gear and let's get to it. Which film won the Best Picture award at the 2013 Oscars? Argo. What was the name of the video game adaptation that became a hit HBO series in 2023? The Last of Us. What was the name of the international treaty signed in 1997 to combat climate change? The Kyoto Protocol. Which TV series followed the lives of a group of high school friends in the 1950s, starring Ron Howard and Henry Winkler? Happy Days. What was the name of the fictional coffee shop where the characters in Friends frequently hung out? Central Perk. What is the name of the technology that is the underlying basis of cryptocurrency? Blockchain. Which arcade game was released by Namco in 1980 and became a global phenomenon? Pac-Man. Which two rival computer scientists founded Microsoft in 1975? Bill Gates and Paul Allen. What popular voice-activated virtual assistant, which is available on Apple devices, was introduced in 2011? Siri. What movie featured the DeLorean time machine? Back to the Future. What kids' book series by J.K. Rowling debuted in 1997? Harry Potter. In what year was the first test tube baby, Louise Brown, born through in vitro fertilization, IVF? (1978). In 1990, who was released from prison after serving 27 years and would go on to become the President of South Africa? Nelson Mandela. Which 2021 Netflix series involved deadly versions of children's games? Squid Game. What became the first private company to launch humans into space? SpaceX. Which popular musical debuted on Broadway in 1971 and told a biblical story? Jesus Christ Superstar. Which artist is known as the King of Rock and Roll? Elvis Presley. Who was the first American woman to travel into space? Sally Ride, in 1983. What was the name of the first film in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy? The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. The Ice Bucket Challenge went viral in 2014, raising awareness and funds for what disease? ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Which iconic handheld electronic game, which challenged players to repeat a sequence of lights and sounds, was released by Milton Bradley in 1978? Simon. What was the name of the fantasy film directed by Jim Henson, featuring David Bowie as the Goblin King? Labyrinth. Which artist released Midnights in 2022? Taylor Swift. What was the name of the popular computer game where players built and managed their own cities? SimCity. What tragedy occurred on September 11, 2001? Terrorist attacks on the US.
What year was Heinz ketchup first introduced?
(1876). What TV show featured a talking car named Kit? Knight Rider. What was the first popular instant messaging service for personal computers launched by Mirabilis in 1996? ICQ. Which TV series set in a luxurious Hawaiian resort became a critically acclaimed hit for HBO? The White Lotus. Who was US president during the Monica Lewinsky scandal? Bill Clinton. What was the name of NASA's space station launched in 1973? Skylab. Which actress played Wednesday Addams in the 2022 Netflix hit Wednesday? Jenna Ortega. Who wrote the best-selling young adult trilogy The Hunger Games, which was adapted into a successful film series? Suzanne Collins. What popular ride-sharing service, which allows users to hail a ride from their smartphone, was founded in 2009 and saw explosive growth in the 2010s? Uber. Which glam rock artist created the alter ego Ziggy Stardust? David Bowie. Which actor portrayed Iron Man in 2008? Robert Downey Jr. Which artist's song Blinding Lights became the longest charting song in Billboard Hot 100 history? The Weeknd. Which streaming platform debuted The Mandalorian in 2019? Disney Plus. Which pop artist was famous for his Campbell's soup cans and Marilyn Monroe screen prints? Who is Andy Warhol? Which artist had a massive hit with Thriller in 1982? Michael Jackson. Which early AI art generator became famous for turning prompts into images? Mid-Journey. What was the first commercially successful video game console to feature high-definition graphics, released by Microsoft in 2005? The Xbox 360. What was the name of the popular sitcom about four older women living together in Miami? The Golden Girls. What was the first commercially successful electric car with a long-range battery, making it practical for everyday use, introduced in 2012. The Tesla Model S. Which pop-punk artist had a hit with the song Skater Boy? Avril Lavigne. Who wrote the play Romeo and Juliet? William Shakespeare. What was the name of the popular TV series that followed the lives of a group of women in a minimum security prison? Orange is the New Black. Who assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968? James Earl Ray. What Nintendo gaming console released in 2006 introduced motion controls and became a massive success? The Wii. What was the name of the NASA rover that successfully landed on Mars in 2012 and is still operational? JAWS, the Curiosity rover.
Time's up, little earthlings. Your neurons need a nap. Like and subscribe if you want me to roast your intellect again very soon. Thanks for coming out. Melvin. Gone. Congratulations, you survived. Now let's see if your attention span can stretch to one more. Choose wisely.